about this, right? Is being like a hypocrite actually a bad thing? You know, I was talking to a lot of people. Bear with me, bear with me. I was talking to someone, and the thing is, we were talking about hypocrisy and that nature and all that stuff. But is being a hypocrite really a bad thing? Because in my mind, when I think about it, there seems to be this gray area between being a hypocrite in a bad way and being a hypocrite in a good way. And hear me out, right? So, like, if you think parents, a lot of parents, most parents be like, oh, don't do that, don't do drugs, don't do things or whatever. I'm not condoning any of those things, but don't do those things even if they've done them. Don't carry 20 bags at once from the grocery store or something from the car. You wouldn't say that they're being a hypocrite, but I guess you can, right? Technically they are a hypocrite. Like, oh, don't get this type of job, don't go into this field, don't do this, even if I've done them. Even though if I lived that crazy adventurous life, don't do it. And obviously you can argue that they're making a judgment on you based off who you are and judgment of their experience, their anecdotal experience, for you not to do those things. And you wouldn't say they're hypocrites in a bad way because maybe they're just looking out for their children, looking out for their kids. You can easily say that. So, how would you say that being a hypocrite is bad, right? Because then you can look at it, if you step back, you can look at it as, are you just being a hypocrite, or are you just taking your judgments of them and basing your suggestions for what they should do based off that judgments of who you think they are? And it's a very big emphasis on the person, right? It's like, oh, I don't think you should do that. And it's very big emphasis on the you, right? Like, based off your skills, based off whatever you are, based off your mentality, I don't think you should do this. I don't think you should go to the military. I don't think you should go to school or college or whatever, right? It's just based off their judgments of who they believe and who they perceive you to be. So I think really that's all it is, instead of being, because I think, hypocrisy is really just this big negative term a lot of people throw on, everyone to shed ignorance, I suppose, because they don't know, most times they don't know why the person is saying not to do that. And, they just don't understand. And that can really lead to someone just feeling completely negative, like, oh, well, you can do this, why can't I do this? And it's because at the end of the day, you're not them. And that's okay, because everyone's unique in their own way, everyone's born in different ways. So, I've come to accept the idea around it of why people, suggest these things. So, because, for example, if I'm in a line of work of sales or something and I'm killing it, crushing it, making tons of money, just getting Lamborghinis and everything, right? Unrealistic, right? But if I was doing that, I have a very charismatic personality, I would think, and if someone came to me that was very timid and very introverted, you can still, survive as an introverted person, but my point is, very timid, I don't feel like they do really good in that environment. And if they ask me, hey, should I do this? Should I do what you're doing? And I would say, no, don't do that. I don't think you should do that. If I say, no, don't do that, if they ask me, it can sound like a suggestion, right? But if I'm like, all right, don't do sales, don't do that or whatever, it's going to sound like I'm being a hypocrite because I'm telling you not to do something that I do. And that's because it works out here in terms of thinking. It works out because I don't believe, and I guess that's a bad thing for me not to believe in you, right? But I don't believe that this would be a good suit for how you should live your life. And I don't think it would be the most comfortable, or I don't think it's the most efficient way that you can go about in the situation with who I know you are. And it's really just a judgment of the person's character, not the idea that, oh yeah, I'm just being a hypocrite. So I hope that made sense. So yeah, that's it.